welcome to another Captain's Vlog. It's day one, it's Friday the 4th of July, so to any American viewers of mine, of course it's Independence Day, and while you're celebrating that, I'm on the River Bure, heading in the direction of Great Yarmouth, away from Wroxham, aboard Brinks Royale number 1, a luxury 5-star elite fleet boat from their range. And very nice it is too, especially on a day like today. Probably the hottest day of the year, because I've come up to Norfolk, so here on in the temperature's going to fall, but actually I'm alright with that. We're just actually passing on my right hand side Wroxham Broad, the first entrance to, and it's a 7-day Captain's Vlog, and then afterwards something special. So stay tuned throughout the episodes and this series of the Captain's Vlog, as we take you maybe down to the southern Broads, or maybe just sticking to the north. I haven't really decided. Tonight's overnight destination's probably going to be around Womack Water, which means that tomorrow I can take a check on whether I want to go south or not, because from there it's just down the Thurne, turn left down the Bure towards Acle, or go somewhere else if you turn right. So I'll show you what I can see. It's a bit busy at the moment with the day boats. Everybody's enjoying the lovely weather, and I'm sure that tomorrow as the weekend starts the busyness will increase. It's a very popular season. Most of the boats are booked, certainly at Barnes Brinkcraft, other boatyards as well, very full, which is good for business of course. So anyway, I'll show you where we are, what's going on, and keep you informed as the day progresses. It is the first day, and as you know, first days really for me is take the boat over, go somewhere, moor up, unpack, and then the real sort of start of the holiday is the second day. Anyway, this is what I can see. So as you can see, this is the helm here on Brinks Royale. It is a little bit disconcerting because you are up very high. This has an air draft of 8'6" by the way. It's 29 foot long, so it's not too long. It's about 11 foot wide, so reasonably wide for the length. And it has this huge curved windscreen, as you can see here, which looks really cool and flash. Unfortunately, it also distorts the light. I don't know if that can really make out on the camera, probably not. But there's a great deal of internal reflection off the white surfaces here and the sunlight coming in. So actually you can see out more when the sun goes behind the cloud. Or alternatively, on a nice day such as today, you can take off the canvas cover that covers the sunshine roof and just stick your head out, and then the camera of course gets the full wind on the microphones. As you can see, it's popular today with the day boats. They're, you know, thick and fast. They're everywhere. They're like little bees, but they're all behaving themselves. I haven't seen any speeders or crazy people. They're just all enjoying the river on this lovely day. Brought some sun cream with me this time, and a selection of hats to hopefully ward off the dreaded panda look and sunburn that I've suffered in the past. But this is a really nice boat so far. I've basically put some stuff in the fridge. That's about it so far. Everything's remaining to be unpacked downstairs or down below. And I really can't say very much at the present time, other than I've taken off most of the canvas covers. This one here behind, that can actually come off completely, but I've so far just left that on as a kind of a bit of a sun shade than anything, because it's very powerful sun. It's 20 minutes to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's a little bit later getting away today. But, you know, I'm not worried. I've got plenty of daylight left. I'm just taking it nice and easy, just passing Wroxham Broads, as I said, if you want to look up on a map where I am. Making towards Womack Water, which is off the River Thurne.
What a wicked game to play, to make me feel this way. What a wicked thing to do, to let me dream. To say you never felt this way. What a wicked thing to do, to make me dream of you.
also found a couple of things out about this boat. First of all, it's got an engine on hydraulic drive, which to a purist like me, I'm not so keen on. Do you notice that? I don't know if the camera picked that up where the engine went. It's basically, the engine is running like a normal engine, and instead of the engine being connected to a gearbox, and out the other end of the gearbox is a shaft of metal, and at the end of that is a propeller, this has a pump, and it's a hydraulic pump, and it uses a reservoir of hydraulic fluid, and basically a impeller, kind of. It spins, pumps the hydraulic fluid, which is gravity fed from the tank, and powers a motor. But instead of using electricity to spin the motor and spin the propeller, it uses hydraulic liquid, fluid. And it kind of is a bit similar to when you've got an automatic car which uses an automatic gearbox with hydraulic fluid and a torque converter which spins, and the fluid gets pushed to the side, and the different, I'm trying to keep the camera out of the sunlight, it's a bit difficult, sorry viewers, I'm trying to get technical and scientific on you, drive the boat and keep the sun out of the lens. But anyway, basically when you power something through liquid, it loses energy and torque. It's not as good as if it was directly driven through a gearbox. Even a mechanical gearbox loses energy and torque and horsepower, but it's just not as good as a direct drive. As a purist might say, an automatic car is not as good as a manual car, for example. And so when you're going along, you've got the noise of the engine, but you also got this kind of whine of the hydraulic motor, because that's what it's doing. But what it does mean is that you can do things with boats that otherwise you couldn't. Like, for example, you could, it'd be stupid, but you could put the engine at the front of the boat and have the motor for the hydraulic drive at the back of the boat. But you can also do some really clever things by using the hydraulic pump to power other things, like the bow thrusters. Now this is a clever thing, because then you don't need a motor and batteries to power the bow thruster. It's not quite so good because you need sufficient RPMs on the engine to send enough hydraulic fluid down there to the bow to power the bow thruster. Now that means that when you need the bow thruster most, usually you're kind of neutral, you're coming into the bank or you're leaving the bank, and that's when your hydraulically powered bow thruster, like this boat's got, will be least effective. So to counter this, what you might need to do is take the engine out of gear. Let's bring the camera over here. Take the engine out of gear, and on this boat you do it like this. You'd pull that out so that it was no longer in drive, basically. Then you'd give it some RPMs, and then you'd do the hydraulic bow thruster button. And in doing that, you'd give the pump enough welly to actually be able to push the boat somewhere. Equally, if you were going along the river and you needed to do a quick 360 and you increased revs in drive, then again more fluid is able, the engine's working harder and it's sending the fluid to the bow thruster. It's just the same as, you know, when you see a tipper truck, for example, with the grab, or a dust lorry, okay? That's all of that is powered hydraulically. And do you ever notice when the wheelie bins are grabbed at the back of the dust lorry and they're pushed up and the big hydraulic rams work, that the engine of the dust lorry, even though it's not going anywhere, is revving higher? That's to power all the hydraulic equipment. So it's a very good system, and it saves wiring and it saves motors and it saves, you know, batteries and all the rest of it, but it is a little bit more complicated. If it's your own boat, if something goes wrong with it, it's expensive. It's not just like, oh, your gearbox, you know, has gone, and, you know, it's a whole assembly pump reservoir, goodness knows, if the hydraulic fluid's got, you know, stuff in it, water, not good. So we're just coming into Horning on the bend where the Swan pub is, and then we'll be going past Lower Street, the New Inn, under new ownership, by the way. So anyone that's been to the New Inn in Horning before, whatever your views were, good or bad, give it a go next time you're up on the Broads. It's under new management, Their main website doesn't reflect this, but if you look on Facebook, there's a load of comments. So you know they're on a new adventure, and I might be stopping there myself. But I just thought I'd give you a heads up on that thing. So yeah, that's where we are basically. And the reason why I'm wearing a Ferrari cap is because I used to work for Shell, and I don't know if they still sponsor Ferrari, but they did when I worked there. And they brought a Ferrari F1 car in, and we had goes at changing the wheels on it, and they gave a free cap. And I sadly don't work for a company like Shell anymore, where everything was big and bold and free lunch and everything was paid for. So I kind of went backwards with my career. I started good and got there, and now I work for a high street solicitors. Yeah. So just an update for you. It is now just coming up to 10 minutes past 5. We've just passed Ramworth Dam, which leads to Salhouse Broad, which means that shortly on our left hand side will be the mouth of the River Wroxham. Past there will be the moorings for St Benet's Abbey, and then past those further down will be the mouth of the River Thurne, where we'll be taking the left hand turn. The temperature started to drop, the breeze has come back. Humidity feels like it's dropped as well. It's just a bit more comfortable, but it's an absolutely lovely time to be afloat on the Broads, and everybody I've passed seems to be really, you know, in the summer mood, drinking, sunbathing, having a jolly good time. Do you notice anything odd about the Morse control throttle lever? No, I didn't think you probably would. It's sort of configured the wrong way round, because this is, the helm is on the right hand side, so you're going to use your right hand, so this should be here, it shouldn't be on the left. So this as a unit is in two halves. It can be moved, and this obviously be on this side, and then it would be more proper. If you had a left hand helm, you would have this on the left. If you have a right hand helm, usually it's on the right. And if you had a twin engine boat, you'd have another one here which came up from the right. So I'm sure there'd be commenters now saying no, actually that is the way it should be. Maybe it is. If it was my boat, I'd prefer to have the lever on this right hand side, because that's, I believe, where it should be. There is a risk, however, of becoming anal about these things, and in my older passing years, a risk of becoming like Victor Meldrum.
Please don't say you don't care. I know you do. In my heart of hearts, I know there's more love left for you. Love is not enough of love to see the journey through.
This is the River Bure. If you went round the corner there, you'd head down towards Acle and eventually Great Yarmouth. But we're going to be going up here, which is the River Thurne. So we're almost there, really. Womack Dyke is just off of the River Thurne, so not far to go now. As you can see, it's becoming an absolutely glorious evening. It's 5 minutes to 6 in the evening. Very mild still, lovely. You can hear the bird song. All you can probably hear is the wind noise, but still, So just a little update for you, River Thurne, here we come. So this is Thurne Mill, and look at that, it's been lovely painted. It was looking a little bit tired for a while, and now it's once again gleaming white, and it still works. There's sometimes when you know, the sails will turn, it's all there. It doesn't grind flour though, it's a water mill. It basically just pumps water. So if you see ahead of us, a boat is turning to the left. That's all. Thanks for watching. That is Womack Dyke, and that is where we're going to be heading down to. If you followed that all the way down, you'd come to Womack Water. There's a stave, you pay a fee, you get a water top-up included. There's some really nice, decently kept public loos, and you can walk into the very nice village of Ludham and go to the King's Arms pub, which I suppose sometimes does very nice food, and sometimes, yeah, that kind of thing. Great vibe in there, however, for drinking, having a good time. I've been in there, had a steak, lovely. I've been in there and had some fish and chips, and the fish was a little done up, so, you know, I think just leave it to your own judgment. You know what that's like. Overall though, it's a lovely pub, and I'm not going there tonight. No, tonight I'm going to try more just along this way, and just avoid the floating waterloo. So if you're caught short and you're holding tanks full, insurance claim forms. I was travelling down the river when I collided with a floating toilet. So here we are, we're taking our left hand sign. Oh look, there's a red something attached to the sign, which I'm sure says slow dredging works ahead. Well, something like that. But look at this, people, it's actually really quiet along here. There's another sign down there. What does that say? Slow dredging in progress. Yeah, that's more like it. One day, they'll do fast dredging. So my favourite moorings just round this bend, and I can't really show you that. Well, I can show you the mooring, it's not secret. It's just I've got to put the camera down and actually moor up. This mooring here, by the way, is really good, because if you moor there, you can walk. There's a path that leads all the way up, and you can walk into Ludham from there, and I've done that before. So that's free as well. But haven't been here for a while. Anyway, must moor up. So I'll keep this quick because the wind on the microphones, but we're not on my favourite wild mooring. There was a boat already there. So we're at the other one, and because the wind is blowing this way, I chose that one and came on in the starboard side so the wind would hold me on the bank, and I'm glad it did, because either I'm getting older or things are seeming to be more of a drop to get down from. Let me show you what I mean. So basically, like all these boats that are not really Broads boats that were designed originally, this is actually, it says on the helm, a Class B boat. So if you know A, B, C, this is a B for offshore use. They have high freeboards, and that's because, well, they're primarily designed for being in the sea. However, this means that getting off of it is a bit of a leap. But sorry about the wind. What this boat has an issue with is when you're on your own. It wouldn't be so much of an issue if you had a nice helper with you. But did you notice here, this part here gets very narrow? Now it's fine when the canopy sides are gone. Here, see there's no canopy sides. Because you step out of there and then you can come down to here. But because if it was raining and this was all down, you couldn't really step out, and it would also, all of those individual fasteners have to be undone, and then bungee cord has to be taken off of these as well. So it's not an easy point of getting out the side of this boat. So you come out the back and there's a door here, nice bathing platform here, but again here, unlike on say Duet, it's not the same. You can't just sort of, there's nothing to hold on here. This is just, there's no pole there, that's just material. So I just thought to myself, you know, maybe tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, if it's not so nice, the wind helping me onto the bank, there could be some issues with this, basically getting from the helm and out to the side of the boat. So it might not go as smoothly as some of my moorings do. People might be thinking, what on earth is he doing? I'll tell you something else about this boat though, I'm trying not to trip up. It might be 29 foot long and it might be 11 foot wide, but it certainly looks bigger on the outside. Looks quite imposing here. Actually looks a bloody nice boat. So I'm going to unpack, and it is nearly, oh there's an insect, oh it's gone. Oh well, he wanted another time as well. It is just literally almost 20 past 6 in the evening. That's the time when I moored. Just over the way from the other mooring I pointed out when we came along. So, and this has got a post which is handy, so I only had to use one rond anchor. And that's my mooring. That's my view. That's what is so good about the Norfolk Broads. You leave Wroxham, it's full of people, it's busy, and you come somewhere like here and you're in the middle of the countryside just on your own. So if you have been, thanks for watching day one of the Captain's Blog. Tomorrow it's going to be rainy, but don't worry, I've got that covered. We've got outdoor waterproof action cameras, goodness knows what we're going to be trying out this time round, and so we'll just see how that goes. But for now, thanks for watching. I'm sorry about the wind noise. If you have been watching and putting up with the noise, thanks very much. Until tomorrow, more as it happens.